Hey guys, this is James. I am filming the first in-between-isode for myself. So Denny launched this a couple weeks back, depending on when we actually air this episode. And so people seem to like it, so we're going to give it a shot for myself. And so Denny and I drink tea quite a bit differently from one another. So I think one of the things these in-between-isodes are going to accomplish is a chance to just see our different setups and how Denny and I process the tea and drink it and that sort of thing. So the tea that I'm going to be drinking is the Yongde Organic Ripe Pu'er from Yunnan Sourcing. Yongde is the region, and it's from a factory over there. And you can see that I have been drinking this cake a lot. And so this is actually a cake that we picked up from our office. It's something I'd recommend for everybody. Is to buy tea on their office credit card. It's an excellent thing to be able to drink good quality tea in the workplace, especially when you're not paying for it. And so we literally picked this one out because my coworker is into organic things, and he said, "Hey, that one's organic. Let's get that one." So the cake was, I believe, $17 or $18, so really reasonably cheap, and so we picked it up. And it's quickly become actually one of my favorite kind of like daily drinking ripe pu'er teas. So you can see, taking a look at these dry leaves, I have about 3 grams here broken off using a 60 milliliter gaiwan. And so one thing that's really good to do for pu'er, especially if it's pretty compressed, is just to, pick apart those leaves right there. And that's going to let you have just a much more even brew. You don't want to break those teas if possible, but it is better to break them up a little bit and have a more even brew, even if it comes at the cost of breaking a few twigs here or there. Alright, so I'm going to load that up, and I'm going to give this guy 2 rinses. So one interesting thing about this tea cake that Scott over at Yunnan Sourcing talks about is the fact that it's a spring harvest cake, and spring is actually the most kind of coveted harvest for pu'er tea, as it is for a lot of other teas, and that's really rare for ripe tea. Ripe pu'er is usually used like lower quality teas, so you'll rarely see a ripe pu'er being advertised as being from a specific harvest. So it's kind of unique and interesting, and of course you can't trust these things 100% that it is indeed spring harvest, but if it is spring harvest, then that would automatically put it several grades above other ripe pu'ers in terms of base material. Yeah, so we are going to be waiting for my tetsubin, which is just now getting to a boil, and then we will have a go. So let's have a smell. So this tea definitely has a fairly significant amount of fermentation. It's not one of those lighter fermented teas, ripe pu'ers, that has kind of more bitter taste and stuff like that. There are some twigs mixed in here. So the leaf quality, as we can expect, is not great. I mean, it was acquired for, I think it can be acquired now for about $17 or $18 a cake. So that is very cheap. And here we go. And so you can see immediately that it's brewing this kind of like really dark, nice, very pu'er, ripe pu'er color. So I'm going to let that cool down, and I'm going to make another infusion. So this is usually how I like to drink tea when I'm drinking by myself or just in my setup, which would be pretty much whenever I'm not drinking tea with Denny in TDB episodes, is just to make a couple of infusions at once, sip at them slowly, use bigger cups, and then once I am ready to drink some more, heat up my tetsubin again, add a little bit of water, and have a couple more infusions. Really casual, really basic way to enjoy the tea. Alright, cheers. So, still a little bit of that fishiness that you can expect from some ripe puer. It's going to be very minimal, and I think this is the only steep we're going to get it. Let's see. Really sweet, very, very pleasant, super creamy. Just a lot of those really characteristic ripe puer notes. I don't think this tea is one of those teas where you're going to have any of those crazy flavor note descriptions that Denny always comes up with, like pencil shavings or like, I don't know, male urine or anything like that. This is just a really, really basic, nice, easy ripe puer to enjoy. And I think one of the challenges of shopping at a site like Yunnan Sourcing is just the really vast selection. And this tea is one of those that really fits the kind of bang for your buck profile. Like if I was just trying to buy daily drinkers, this would probably be number 1 or number 2 on my list as far as like teas under $20 from Yunnan Sourcing. So just very, very sweet, very, very basic. And so you guys can take a look at my cake, which is pretty small at this point. And you can see that we've definitely been drinking this, and so it was an office tea, so I definitely wasn't the only person drinking this tea. But it's been pretty heavily consumed, and I would say I've had at least half of this. So as far as passing that sort of like, would I drink this pretty regularly test, this tea definitely passes that vote. I'm actually going to toss the rest of this first infusion, just so you guys don't have to watch me slowly sip away at this guy, and we can get on quickly to the second one. So it's kind of more of a red color, a little bit darker, which is pretty typical for ripe puer coming out of this cup. So that fishy taste is completely gone. I would say this infusion is even slightly better than the first one. Still very, very sweet, very creamy, and very enjoyable. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this tea. I don't think you can buy a sample of it. A sample would be something ridiculous and like $1 or something like that if you were able to buy it. So I think this is definitely recommendable considering that the price is so low. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and please let me know how I can improve these episodes. Always looking for different suggestions on different content we can produce for TDV. Anything you'd like us to do in particular, if you'd like to see the wet leaves or something like that, which I will show you right now. And you can see my cameraman is enjoying her new role. So yeah, let us know what you'd like to see. We've got lots of great feedback in the past, so please let me know how I can improve these things. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.